All right, welcome everyone with Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Kaguya-sama, Love is War, Season 3, Episode 9. Today's the day!
Yes, indeed.
It's happening. It is happening. Maybe not this exact episode, but very soon.
They're going to tease it at the very least at the end of the episode.
Right, because you know, the festival is actually underway. You know, the preparations have been done.
All
the
pieces
hearts
are
have
in
been
place.
prepared. And now all that is left is to have it happen.
Yes.
And it is happening.
Speak.
Exactly. Speak the
Speak quickly.
speak the forgotten words, you know,
Yes, yeah.
all of that, and yes.
I just can't imagine how all the other characters will react if something happens. But then not only that, the way in which Ishigami might actually make a step here as well.
Well, because
she's not dating the guy. That guy's dating Hibachi.
the thing is,
So
Ishigami, I don't put your odds as good. But
wait, you put them as better than Miyuki's or Kaguya's?
oh no, I don't.
Sorry,
put your
you put
odds
them as
good.
worse.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, Ishigami
Ishigami is
you.
actually like.
I love you. She is a bit out of your league. I don't think it's actually going to end up happening.
Okay, here's clarification here. I think Ishigami's a higher likelihood of confessing
Oh no,
than
totally.
they do, though.
I mean, they're both like 100% for me. So
Wow. See, I
have
like,
no doubt that that Kaguya and Shirogane are going to confess, and it is going to be wonderful and awesome.
I give them about a 62% chance of confessing. Yeah.
I find your lack of faith.
I think
disturbing.
Ishigami has like an 85% chance of confessing.
See, the thing is, with where
just
we
don't
are
think it's gonna
in
be
the story,
positive.
I don't see them not confessing. The only way I could see Ishigami not confessing is if he ends up finding out that she's dating someone else, you know, and then he's like,
That's the only way he wouldn't confess.
Right, but even then, I think
So you
there's
see
a
it
good
as
chance.
100% that he'll confess.
Yeah, like I think it's 100% he'll confess, you know, barring that exception. But even within that exception, I think there's a very high likelihood that he'll confess anyways because he knows that she's out of his league. It's more about him saying it rather than necessarily, like, you know, the likelihood that she'll reciprocate.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then for Kaguya and Miyuki, 100%. 100% no contest. It is happening. It is
But if it's a true, blue, genuine confession with no bullshit, then they'll just get in a relationship.
There is always the possibility that there could be other obstacles that they would then need to overcome. But yes, they will absolutely confess and reciprocate, and it's going to be wonderful.
Wow, I almost want to make a bet right now. I don't think it's going to work.
Hey, I'll do it. I'd
So
love to make a
what
bet on
kind of
this.
bet should we make?
That's a good question.
Because it might not even happen this episode. So let's not make it based on what episode.
Not based on what episode, but that you know the festival and the arc and all of that
in
stuff.
this festival, before the festival ends.
Well,
No, because this is good. Because for his thing was that if she doesn't confess to me, then I will. So let's make a bet specifically.
The only stipulation that I'll have is that it will be on the same calendar day in universe as the festival ends.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right.
And I don't even want to go into that because it could be 12:01. So let's have it be that I think that neither of them will confess in this festival.
Okay. And I'm 100% that at the very least one of them will confess and the other will reciprocate. So I personally think that they're both going to be trying to confess at the same time.
Cool. That's wonderful. What I constitute a confession though is not just that they say it and it's said, but that the other person has to read it as a confession.
Exactly.
If they misinterpret
no fireworks or whatever.
If there's
misinterpretation
anything
or
that
whatever.
keeps them from seeing it as the person saying, I like you at the minimum.
Right.
If it's anything below that, it's not a confession.
Yeah, and even if it's the, I like you. Oh, do they mean as a friend? No.
That means it's not a confession.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Okay, cool. Because I think I have the odds against me. I think I have the odds against me because I put them out of 6 out of 10 in terms of likelihood of doing this. But I still think it's a very, very sizable chunk that it won't happen.
So what should we put as the stakes for this bet?
I think we should figure out the stakes like another time, because
All right,
it might not
sounds
even
good.
happen this episode.
That is fair.
And we'll
That
just
is
do
fair.
whatever we think is fair.
And I am up for a general 2-to-1 odds for this because, like,
You think it's well? Actually, no. You think it's 100. So let's do 3-to-1 odds then.
no,
'Cause that'd be
2-to-1's
the
good because you were saying you're about like 65%.
Yeah, so that would be
that it'll happen. So since I'm betting on that one, so then yours would be the other one. So like my stake will be double what your stake is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Right. Cool.
Yeah. We'll have it be like dinners or something like that.
Yeah. Right. That's the general scope for the.
Sure. So you get me 2 dinners, I get you 1.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Sounds good. I mean, yeah. That's
Like
it. I mean,
it's totally going to happen. What I'm
let's just see.
actually really hoping to see is what are the obstacles that would get in their way under traditional circumstances, and then that way we can see them push past those. Friends helping them out, things like that.
Yeah. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone. Now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below. Then come back here for the discussion. Well,
All right.
We got through the first stage.
Yep, we did.
Big W for Ishigami. Let's fucking go, dude. Let's go, dude. I'm so happy for you.
Got this.
Now, there was some near, ways it could have been bungled because of not just the sudden arrival of Maki, Tsundere senpai.
Exactly, but also the other guys that also are crushing on Tsubume and would also want to ask her out probably. So,
yes.
But, it worked, right?
She leapt at the chance before he even got the words out to actually say, hey, let's go do this. Because I think we're setting up the possibility that she's been seen as unapproachable by a lot of people.
Oh.
And or the people that she does get approached by are a little bit on the creepier side and don't just come up and actually just ask her. They more just just kind of watch from the
we have
sidelines.
3 examples of.
And she totally
of those
probably
so far.
sees them.
Totally. Yep.
And it's like, oh, that just makes you uncomfortable, right? But if someone just is willing to be awkward and, kind of not do it perfectly.
Exactly. I love that they brought that up, that the actual couple is like, oh no, it was a totally terrible confession, but
leaping into a swamp, if you will, getting dirty to go into action rather than, looking perfectly or what have you, because the ends justify the fucking means. That's what Kaguya.
Hold on now, Griffith. Wait. I mean,
no, that was Kaguya's reasoning. Oh, I am going to use this as a means to manipulate them later.
Indeed.
She pulled a Griffith.
Oh, no, yeah.
She literally leapt
absolutely.
in to,
Well, right. And I gotta say, that's something that I appreciate because, yes, it's a fun comedic bit, right? And
yes.
Of where, which is so common with first loves of not fully seeing the person as they are, right?
Sure.
Him seeing it as this selfless thing when it's an entirely selfish thing. But that's also a way in which it's reinforced for us, the audience, that just because we're seeing this backstory later in the story when they've gone on these character arcs, they had not gone on those journeys of character growth at that point in time. So of course, if Kaguya were to do something like this, it would be because she's gonna, use that as a point of leverage, basically, to get them to do something for her down the road.
Right.
Because that's the kind of person she was back then. So yeah.
So there we go.
But Ishigami, good job.
Yes, way to go, buddy.
Good job.
Kaguya trying to min-max her cute costume to time working with her class for this, cosplay cafe, which is super kind of cute and fun and, generic. And
Hayasuka just puts on a bow.
Hayasuka puts on a bow and goes into voice. And it just... Oh, I have to experience that in the dub now too, because what would be the equivalent?
100%.
That just sounds amazing. And then also the sudden arrival of the Ramen King.
Surprise return character.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Amazing.
Because if you were to have some kind of distraction that would really shake things up, it would need to be extreme, even by Kaguya standards. And hey, here you go. This is how it would work. She's like, okay, I may not be able to do coffee, but I sure as shit know tea, So I will serve you that tea.
Got it too, showed up. And he almost did literally the,
I was hoping that he would show up, and it would just
perfect.
and we would just see that that freaking Hayasuka's mom would be there too.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh yeah, no, they're just here together, right? It's just that's.
But no, it's that Papa Shirogane, he's a bit of an awkward bumblefuck, so he kind of stumbles into
cheeky
these
little dick waffle.
Yeah, these situations and has some fun of it with a little bit at Kaguya's expense.
Oh, totally.
Because he did have a really fun, unique interaction with her at the end of season 2, so they're closer than
Oh yeah.
than one might expect. So, all right, now that's all underway. Miyuki, you had your little bit of backstory,
Right?
But there was a lesson that you learned back then.
Indeed.
There was a lesson that you learned. Are you going to apply it here?
And I believe he will.
I think he will.
Yeah.
There was no confession here.
No, there was no confession.
Probably because he has a specific time that he's waiting for at the very end in case she confesses. So he is putting himself in her proximity to give her opportunities.
Right.
He's even complimenting her in ways that are just, really kind of kind and open and inviting a response.
Exactly. But I think the backstory from a meta angle in the story makes me more confident that there will be a confession. But then also on top of that, the lesson that was learned, I think is going to be directly applicable, like you were saying, because there's going to come a point where there will be some kind of distraction or whatever, something like that. It's not necessarily going to be the perfect time or something. And it's the, hold on, no, you still just need to take the leap and go for it, even if you might get dirty in the process. And so I hope so. That doesn't just feel like a thing that's like poetic in like stories in general, but specifically for these characters, it feels like
a romance specifically.
Right. It feels like a great way to have a resolution to character arcs in parallel and simultaneously to the romantic arc resolution. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I believe
this is huge. This is huge. This is big. But given that we are shifting perspectives around, we could continue this in the next episode, although I think it makes sense to continue it with these 3 characters as the main focus here.
Totally.
I think Chica deserves her own focus as well.
Chica's being saved. Like, I think it's something, because one, we need Chica to run into the ramen people, right? So that just has to happen.
Yeah, so what if the reason why Chica's being saved is because things are going to go horribly wrong in the festival? And then the episode after that happens. We then spend the entire episode tracking Chica's movements through the festival during all the things.
How her in the tabletop club just
chaos effect
destroyed the whole event.
Absolutely cascades over into everything going wrong.
I love that. That feels a lot more exciting than the maybe kind of tame idea that I had in that she's just in the haunted house.
Well, no, that's the first years. The first years are running the haunted house.
Oh, right, because Ishigami is a different class. Yes,
exactly.
That's right.
Yeah. So no, Chica will not be in that.
Yeah, Chica wouldn't be a part of that.
No.
But
if anything, because she's not at the cosplay cafe, means that she's somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, that is like, yes, people die when they are killed, but also just the idea of like, but I think she would actually really like to be a part of the cosplay cafe.
Exactly. Well, and they would also probably want her to be a part of the cafe because, like, I'm sure she would attract attention, if she were to be like the person out front.
Kaguya was kind of you're the 3rd draft pick,
Right, exactly. Kaguya is wonderful and all of that stuff. But if you have Chica, Babonga, and daughter of the politician, being out front, being like funneling everybody inside, the traffic would be ridiculous,
And it still was, which is kind of cool to show also that this is a little subtle thing that I kind of like here. It's probably not implied that he was able to skip the line because he was the president, but it's probably a little bit more implied that he must have then lined up actually quite early to make sure that he was able to get in for time.
That's a
to
good
spend
point.
With her, which means he's planned out every hour of his time here.
I do like
to the umpteenth degree.
Right, because if you're going to have something where in a situation like this, the person that's doing the confession is going to try and make it be like perfect, okay, that's fine, right? But if they're going to do that and they are really dead set on confessing and they're not just using that as a facade so that way they can have an excuse of, it's not quite right, so I'm not going to do it, then, and with as smart as Miyuki is, he absolutely would have this shit planned out. Like,
all of it.
Like, so he's like, I'm going to do all of these things to try and set up Kaguya for success, but if she doesn't want to, that's fine, I'll still do it,
And then, it's a good start for Ishigami at the very least. Miyuki, you put herself in Kaguya's position. There was a bit of a chaos factor there, so maybe another attempt later would be good.
But for next episode, horror antics.
Yes,
I am so down for that.
I want this so bad.
The way that they
Please
set
let
up,
it be like a double skit, like not just one
totally.
7-minute thing or whatever.
Well, and just with how they like shot and portrayed it, I'm this already feels way more creepy than like any test of courage I've probably seen, or or equivalent to something like that in anime. Like this looks like they're gonna pull some legit
they're gonna scare the shit out of the two of them.
Oh yeah,
because Ishigami's the kind of person that's like, I've been on the deep side of Reddit. Like, nothing scares me anymore. He's one of those, like, 14-year-olds or 15-year-olds,
right.
And he's just like, yeah, totally. Like, nothing scares me. And then he's going to see some things and be like,
oh, God. Right.
I need to reevaluate my life.
Right. He'll be like, I have a high tolerance for this. And as such, he'll go in there with confidence. And that will be the problem.
Yeah, and that's why he will shatter and break. And probably then not confess.
Or he will. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting situation.
He's going to grab her hand.
Yeah, and be like,
and then she's going to be like, he's actually kind of strong. That would be pretty cool.
Oh, man.
But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.